Happy New Year, everybody. We are 1 week done with the new year, thank goodness. And I wanted to spend some time to talk a little bit about my ready-to-wear fast for 2018. This is a larger movement among the sewing community, started by Sarah over at Goodbye Valentino. And every so often, those of us who are crazy enough to undertake it decide to spend the entire year, 365 days, with no clothing purchases whatsoever. Yeah. There are a few caveats. You can buy shoes, you can buy purses, you can buy accessories, you can buy bridal, which I will not be doing. But you cannot buy clothing. That's used clothing, new clothing, whatever. You cannot buy clothing. You can be gifted clothing, that's fine. But you cannot make any clothing purchases for 365 days. So why on earth would someone want to do this? Several really great reasons why. And I'm going to recount those by talking a little bit about why I did this in 2014 and why I'm doing it again. So in 2014, I had been sewing for about 2 years, and I came across the Ready to Wear Fast and said, I can totally do this. I have enough fabric, I have enough patterns, I have enough skill, and I'm going to make this happen. Pardon me. So I did. I made it happen. I went the entire year without buying clothes, and I learned so much about myself that year. Namely, I learned how to refine the fit on my garments so that clothes fit me incredibly well. I tried out different styles, I tried out new fabric, I tried out all of these new things, and it really pushed me to think beyond just running out and grabbing something at the store. I've been sewing for a lot longer now. I do custom garments, I teach classes. There's no better way to know what you're doing than to teach it. And so this year it came back around, 2018, 365 days without clothes, purchasing clothes. So I decided, okay, my skill is up. My quality of garments has greatly improved, probably tenfold from 2014. And it's time to give this a shot again. Since 2015, so 2015, 16, and 17, I've purchased maybe 5 garments. I bought 2 pairs of jeans last year before my trip to Europe because I didn't have time to make jeans, even though I could. And I think I've purchased a few sweaters in between that 3-year period, but less than, I can count every garment on both hands. That's how little I bought. So this year it was about figuring out the core style and going back to the reasons why I sew. I first wanted to learn how to sew because I was tired of not being able to find classic garments. And by classic, I mean natural fibers, classic styles, things that you can hold in your wardrobe for a decade. I could not find them. And then when I did, they were ridiculously overpriced. So if you go to an Ann Taylor or a Dillard's or a J. Crew or what's the other one? Banana Republic is a good example. You might find wool garments or natural fiber garments like silk and cotton and linen, but you're gonna pay for them out the ass. So I started doing the research and I learned that it was a lot cheaper to make things myself. Plus I had some fit concerns. I've got a bigger bust. I'm actually an hourglass, but I have a smaller frame and a bigger bust. So things that were designed for the average plus size woman were too big, even though they fit in certain areas. So I had fit concerns and I had quality concerns. And I just assumed that I could learn how to do this myself and do it, and I did. So this year is all about getting back to that original focus of here's my style. I want to create gorgeous garments that fit me perfectly, that really speak to my individual style and all of the roles that I have. The past few years have been all about getting businesses off the ground, figuring out what doesn't work, wrapping up some businesses that failed, just really hashing through the muck. I'm going to call it the muck. That's been the past couple years. And this year is all about coming into the new year with a confidence of having gone through all of those challenges, learning all of those lessons, and finally saying, okay, this is going to look completely different than it did last year and the year before. So what is it going to look like? I'm going to focus on my core styles. So what are the core pieces that I love to wear? What are the shapes that make me feel the most confident? What are the colors that make me feel the most powerful? And what are the outfits I can put together that make me feel like I can conquer the day? So that's step one. And I have a lot of those already in my wardrobe. I have sketches, I have patterns, I have all of that that tells me what I enjoy most. The next thing I'm going to do is take some time to focus on the fine details of garments. Garments used to be works of art. And what I mean by works of art is that seamstresses would take hours to hand bead or to hand install a zipper or to hand hem or to, apply trims and hem tapes and all sorts of different features that you don't see in ready-to-wear today. In fact, a lot of these finishes and details are completely missing from anything except for couture or high-end designer garments, which I'm not a millionaire, so I cannot afford to go to Gucci and pick out a dress, and I'm assuming most of you cannot either. And even if you could, there's something to be said about creating something that beautiful with your own two hands and the satisfaction that you get when you slip it on and you realize it's a true piece of art that you're wearing. So that's the second thing. And the third thing, I think, is to really come back to remembering how impactful sewing has been for me. Okay, I've told this story to a handful of people, maybe, but the fact of the matter is that sewing basically saved my life during a very difficult situation. It salvaged my self-image and my body confidence during a situation that was heartbreaking. And to this day, it remains one of the most therapeutic acts of self-care that I can do for myself. That was heavy. So, sewing can't just be about creating beautiful things and filling my wardrobe with all of these powerhouse garments that make me feel like Wonder Woman. It also has to be about the intention of self-care. And what I mean by that is taking the time to create something gorgeous and knowing that during the process, you are being healed at the same time. I've had more than one counselor tell me that right-brained activities, so these are artistic, creative activities, as well as repetitive tasks, which sewing is one, are incredibly healing and stress relieving to the body. They reduce your blood pressure, they reduce your stress level, they improve your confidence and your self-esteem at the same time. And these are things that you need to be incorporating into your life every single day. So, 2018 Ready to Wear Fast is all about, 1, figuring out my style profile, 2, creating garments of quality, taking my time, and 3, going back to the original intention of sewing as a therapeutic act. So when I say that I won't be buying clothes for 2018, it's much more layered than just staying out of a shopping mall, which I avoid anyway because I hate them. But it's much more about setting an intention for what you want to be doing with your time, how you want to be consuming, what statement you want to make every day with your clothing, and how you want to put your beliefs into practice into your everyday life. So that's what the Ready to Wear Fast for 2018 is about for me this time around. And I'm going to be sharing much more about this in future videos. This is also going to impact the classes that I teach. So you can buy undergarments, but I've been dying to try to make bras. So I'm probably going to offer a bra class at some point during the year. My class structure is going to offer things that are very consistent with making your own wardrobe completely. So thank you for sticking it in for 10 minutes. And I'm sorry, not sticking it in, sticking with me for 10 minutes. That's what she said. And listening to just the why behind the 2018 Ready to Wear Fast. If you have any questions, drop them below, and I would be more than happy to answer them. Thanks, guys.